Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. So I am on to continue on with this underwater journal that I started last year as a design team project for Whichcraft Do You Do, using some of their beautiful digital kits. So it's going to be slow going, but I am going to get on and finish this. So what I want to do this year is finish the projects that I've got hanging around, as well as starting new ones, of course. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'm having a bit of fun just trying out different things with it. So you may remember that I did do a video on this cover that I'm doing. It's just on some, it was a jelly print that I previously did. I don't know if I actually jelly printed or just rolled the brayer off on it. But it does have some book page and that layered on it, and then the colours, and I really like the colours for this, so I decided to use that as a background. Then I used some of the digitals and some book pictures and that to embellish it. So that's going to go on the front. Got an old book cover here, and I've used a whole lot of pages in here. Some of the digital ones to embellish and for pages, and then book pages and the usual rigmarole inside. So I do have 3 signatures that have been loosely put together. So now I just want to make a few embellishments and that with you guys, and then get it all done. So I think today what I want to do is use some of my upholstery fabric scraps that I got given a while back in a marketplace haul. I got a whole lot of fabric given to me, and in it were some offcuts of your upholstery fabric, the bits that have the label sticker on them. I've got a few of the offcuts here like that, and I thought that would be great fun to use for this as well. So that's what we're going to do today, some quick projects using some of those up. So we'll get to it, and I will link down below any of the videos that I've done on this to date, so that you can go back and have a look at the process of me making this cover piece and that, if you like. I think I might have done some other bits with you as well. So I'll see what I can find, and I'll link them down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So I've got my 2 upholstery pieces here that I would like to use. I also have my archival ink, a stamp block, and the stamp set I'm using is a graphic 45 one. So I'm using the octopus here first. I like the archival ink because it prints nice and cleanly onto fabric, and it's permanent. You could also use your stays on, but I just want quite a light print, so I thought I would use the archival. Just making sure I ink it up really nicely. And I do a tester first just to make sure that I'm getting good ink coverage. Looks beautiful on the paper there. So now I'll ink it up good again and put it onto my fabric. Just hold it on for a little while to let the ink transfer. So now I've got the next piece, which I think looks like water and sky and that, with all the different blues and the white in it. And I'm choosing the mermaid stamp that's in the same set. I was going to do a partial stamp up the same way, but then I realised I could fit the whole mermaid on if I turned it up and do a side pocket with this piece. Again, just trying to get really good ink coverage on her and stamping it onto my paper first. So the test stamps I do there I will reuse because they came out so well. So I'll probably tear them out and put them in my little stamp box. So I inked her up really good again, and I'm now putting her onto the upholstery sample. There is this Pier 45 stamp in that set as well, and I'd like to put that on with the mermaid. Initially I was going to stamp it just straight onto the sample there, but then I thought it would look good, stand out a bit more if I stamp it onto another piece. And I found these white strips on that first piece we used, and I thought it might fit just right on those. So the first stamp I did, it was a bit too close to the bottom for my liking. So I thought I'd try it again on the next white strip up. And it's a little bit better situated. So now I can cut out my octopus. I'm leaving the black lines on as nice borders. I think that will look good. It's just a bit warped on that bit of fabric there, so I thought I would chop that off to make it a bit neater. And that's that pocket done pretty well. Too easy. I'll cut out my words now. I'm leaving just a slight blue line up the top and bottom there when I cut it out, just to highlight it even more. Then I want to cut it down a bit so it fits nicely onto my piece. Then I think it probably looked good as a banner, so I cut the little triangle out there to make a banner shape. I think that looks much better. And I'm just trying to figure out my placement of it. I'm putting the upholstery sample up against the cover just to figure out about how long I'd like my pocket to be. So I just found a page that I'd like to put it on. I like this page that looks like the beach sand. I think it's a nice contrast for it. Grab some of my eyelash trim there, which reminds me of the seagrass sort of swaying in the water. Cut a few bits of that. And I found this nice blue rickrack that I'd like to put on that left-hand side there. So now I'll stick my little banner down first. If I can get my glue out, that is. Always takes a while for it to get down to the nozzle there. Now I'll attach the rickrack, just using tacky glue here and running a bead of it along the length of the rickrack. I get it a bit thick in some areas, so I just blot a little of it off before I stick it down. It does take a while to get tacky, so I do have to put pressure along the rickrack for a little bit just until it grips. And then give it an extra press to make sure it holds well. Now to put the eyelash trim on, I just run a really thin bead of glue along the bottom of my sample there. And then I try to stick just the thick cord part of the eyelash trim onto that, which is easier said than done, especially getting it straight. Don't want to stick any of the little lash pieces down. We want them to be able to move around a bit. Again, it takes a little bit to get tacky. I do grab some plastic packaging just to help me press it down so that I don't get glue on my fingers. Or else the glue on my fingers just lifts it all back up again. And that's as easy as that. That's my side pocket done. I could add more to this. I might add a couple of sequins or something when I go to put it in. Okay, so for today's project, we ended up using our upholstery samples and making this side pocket. So I will probably put that on this page, and I'm not sure yet whether I'll sew it on or stick it on. I think I might sew it on. It's quite heavy fabric, the upholstery fabric, and I always feel a bit better if I do sew those types of things down. So I will probably put that there like that. And then the other one we did, I found a spot for as well in this next signature, I think. Yeah, here. I'll probably do the same with this one. This stamp gets me every time because the writing is that way and the octopus is upside down. But I assume that octopi do swim in different directions. But I always feel like I've got to put it that way, but then the writing's upside down. I was going to actually do the stamping separate. But then I thought, no, be different and do it the way it comes. So it's going to go in like that. Again, I'll probably sew it on. I don't think it's too heavy for that paper. I think it looks good there with the pan bubbles. So that was today's project, a quickie. Most of my videos will be just little things, mostly because I don't have a lot of time at the moment. I can only keep the puppy quiet for short periods. Yeah, but that will be fun. So I'll have to do some of the making this off of camera, but I'll try and show you the most important parts. But I really love the way they turned out. So simple and quick, but effective. Great way of using up offcuts of fabric and your upholstery samples. And these are great. They're nice and thick because they've got the sticker on there of the label and everything. But you could always stick your fabric onto paper, which I often do. I often use old book page and stick my fabrics onto that to make it a little more sturdy to hold nicely for a pocket. So I hope you enjoyed that and it gave you some ideas. The links to the kits and that and Whichcraft Do You Do will be down below, as are the links to the other videos that I have done on this last year. And I hope to see you again soon to do some more. So take care of yourselves, be good, and I will see you again soon. Bye.